and made shit happen for myself down there. You know, somewhere in the back of my mind, everything that I had been taught as that kid of the 60s kicked in again, and I had to step it up. So I got myself together down there. You know, I got me an apartment. I was working and all kinds of stuff, making my shit happen, taking care of my business. So I fell and messed my hip up, and I had to come back to Asheville to have a surgery because I didn't have nobody down there with me, stay down there with me to have the surgery, so I had some help. So I had to come back to Asheville. And that's when I had another child, but I had a hip replacement surgery too at the same time. And
Babies with a bad hip.
Getting busy and hip replacements.
yeah,
Right.
so
My
yeah, did that, and then I ended up going back to another part of North Carolina because things fell apart for a minute here, and went to another place in North Carolina to a very good friend of mine, my brother, really, a very damn good friend, a childhood friend, got killed in a fight with somebody up here in Asheville. So I came back to Asheville. I got with his wife, who happened to be a very good friend of mine before she even got married to him, or before she knew him. Because, like I said, I met her at a gospel singing when we was kids. And she's the godmother of my kids. And I mean, we just connected like that, family. But I got with her and I seen how she wanted to start an organization. She wanted to start a non-profit organization to stop all the violence everywhere. Because the person that killed her husband, nothing was done about that. They called it just a fight, an accident, or whatever. But anyhow, that's where I first got the bug to really step up and do something. Because I got with her and whatever she was trying to do, I was with her and backing and getting it out there. Let's go it. Let's do it. And Asheville being the place it is, there was very little support for what she was doing from the people in the community. So, so without much support, she went on, basically went back to taking care of her work and going back about her business and taking care of family. I fell back a little bit, but I was still out here getting out into the community, getting to know people and stuff.
Yeah.
Then 2016, a day before the Armadillo guy, Diablo, all them, the two guys got killed on July 3rd in 2016. We had a guy that was killed down here by the police the day before. The police just opened fire on him. He's in a high-speed chase and he just opened fire on him. Once the guy got out of his car, he said the guy had pulled the gun on him, blah, 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 but he didn't have his camera on, blah, blah, blah. And the guy his name was Jerry Williams, Jai, the teeth. Everybody called him Little Jerry. And I got with people around here then, they protested. There was a few protesting. And that's about the time with the Black Lives Matter came out. But see, nobody knew about what was going on down here because they kept that shit all held in down here. So nobody knew, but everybody else was wanting to hop on the Black Lives Matter thing, but no. We want to make sure shit stay focused on what happened right here with Jerry getting killed by this policeman out here, getting executed. You shot that man 15 times with a damn high-powered rock weapon? And each shot was a kill shot? No, motherfucker. No. So I got with the people that was protesting, and I really got into protesting then, being an advocate and start speaking up and shit. Again, this took me back to what I had seen in the 60s. See, everything about me leads me back to there because that's where I was grounded at. So no matter how far I went away, everything eventually takes me back to that and I get myself back together. But that in 2016, that's when I really started stepping up, going to city council, speaking up, and just letting my voice be heard. Shit, I mean, you know better than me. If you got rights to sit up here and say things and make decisions about my life, and I got a right to come up here and say something about the decisions you make.
I agree.
So, a lot of the people that was protesting that time with the spotlight being about Black Lives Matter, they fell to the side. They disappeared. They no longer are interested in advocating for the community.
Yeah,
So
because they got jobs. They got jobs. That's what happened.
Their hearts weren't in it because they ran for city council and stuff like that. Got funding from this group here, from the Dogwood Trust. You got all this funding and stuff you made shit happen for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you wasn't trying to help the community.
That's right. AKA they got jobs that when they got a job, they became self-centered instead of community focused.
Some
You
people
know what
just
I'm
can't
saying?
got it. A lot of
They
them
wasn't jobs. They didn't have jobs. Believe me. They was cut, well, just like what these people doing now, these politicians doing now.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, they use that time to get the notoriety and the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't doing it for the right reason. That's what I'm trying to express to you, my brother. They was not doing it for the right reason. It wasn't because they had jobs. They had jobs, but they still had time to be out there for that camera and the spotlight.
Yeah.
But when that spotlight went away and the Black Lives Matter and all that stuff went away, a lot of people disappeared from being advocates for the community.
Yeah. Because it's not about them at that point. That's what leads into the whole self-centered bit, right? That's why now, that's like even now to this day, why you have influencers, quote unquote influencers, right? Social media influencers. And I'm gonna ask him, well, what the fuck are you influencing? And I asked
before
them
you
that.
go
They don't.
into, I'm sorry. Before you go into that, Paul, thank you. I just wanted to give you your flowers real quick.
No problem, no
It gives
problem.
a lot of
Thank
it
you.
gives no it no it gives a lot of like understanding, and I do see your point. And a lot of times, in order to move forward, you got to understand, I guess, both sides, the good and the bad of history, in order to move forward and know what you're moving forward from. But for you to experience it and still be as active as you are and as involved as you are, and you've overcome a heck of a lot, I think that's commendable. And I think that was beautiful, especially it's Black History Month. And those are things that we need to know. And it always hit different when you're getting it from someone who actually experienced it, to see how different things have changed. Even though we can see like the changes today, we still can't erase certain things, because you are a positive voice in Asheville. Yeah, you're on the front lines. You're at City Hall. You're at the council meetings. You're there speaking up for your community, which is you're leading by example. So I just wanted to thank you for letting us into your story and what you've overcome. So it give a lot of context to a lot. I'm sorry.
Thank
Go ahead.
you. Don't be sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Queen. Go ahead, Q. Thank you,
Yeah. I
Queen.
mean, it's like the whole what and to piggyback on what Paul was saying, you know, about the spotlight. Okay, most people are in it for fame, quote unquote fame. They want to be famous. They want to have their name in a book and have movies written about them and songs sang about them and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, at the end of the day, what have you actually done? Have you provided have you are you committed to the cause that you stood up for? Most people don't stand for shit. I make that perfectly clear. But yet they are called influencers, social media influencers. I was like, who are you influencing? What are you influencing? Well, I'm doing beauty tips. Okay, there's 1,000 people that are doing beauty tips. That's not influencing shit. Okay. Or we got people that have like a million sports pod. There's a million and one sports podcasts out there. Okay. At the end of the day, no one gives a shit because you're not sponsored. You're not sponsored. ESPN's not sponsoring
Say
you,
it again.
huh?
I said, say it again.
Yeah,
And the add to what you just said on that is even when people can be monetized, conversations like this will prohibit the
yeah,
monetization.
yeah.
So
Because
just to put
you
that.
have to modify your conversation because what you have to appease to are your the people that are paying the ad revenue dollars. That's why I like radio. I worked in radio when I lived in Charlotte for a year and I hated it. Absolutely hated it. I worked at WPEG for a year in the sales department, but I knew a lot of the talent and I used to hang out with a lot of the talent because
I
they
went
had it.
98.
Yeah, they had the actual studio was in Concord, but the sales department that was in Charlotte. So if I wanted to go hang out with like Eddie Owens or Nate Quick and all of them, I have to drive up to Concord. I realized how much bullshit radio really was when I worked there, how political it was, right? I went to the program director one day. No, I grew up in New York City. All right. I'm a Bronx guy. I grew up in the era of
Oh
hip hop
shit.
when hip hop was born, you know what I'm saying? Block parties and shit like that. They taking the power from the street lights and the power of the DJ equipment, the amps and all that. Yeah, I was there for all that shit. So I have a different sense of what hip hop is than the average Joe. Okay. Most of these people out here are programmed.
Mhm.
They're programmed. They hear 3 songs a day and think that's the shit. 3 songs.
But hold on before you do that because I remember when that era first started. You have to can you elaborate a little bit